Hi, everyone. I am Georgie, the CEO and founder of GSD Solutions. And today I have with me Pedro, who is our CFO. And we're going to be talking to you guys all about virtual events. And so I'm going to let Pedro take a second to introduce himself while I go and grab my slides.
Hey everybody, my name is Pedro Crespo, Operations Manager at GSD Solutions. I am here helping and supporting Georgie manage and run GSD Solutions and make sure that all your events are going live and doing fine all the time. Um, yep, that's my role here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pedro. And the reason why we are going live right now and starting up this live series is because of the new spike with COVID-19. As we've seen, first we had like the regular COVID-19, then we had, I don't remember what was in between. I think it was,
The whole
but I
Greek alphabet.
which the whole entire Greek alphabet. We had Delta, then we had Omicron, and now we have apparently Deltacron. And so we are seeing that a lot of people, a lot of businesses are not sure what their next move should be, right? Should they continue doing events? Should they go on a break? Should they extend their deadline? Should they do a hybrid event? What does a hybrid event mean? And so for this week, what we're going to be doing, as well as following weeks come, we want to just come on live and help folks answer some critical questions that they may have when it comes specifically to producing virtual events. As event experts, we've been doing this for a very long time, and as the pandemic has hit in the last 2 years alone, we've done over 200 events, right, Pedro?
Yeah, well over 200 events.
And these events can range from like small events such as conferences, such as meetups and group meetings, to huge events such as like full-blown conferences and summits, hybrid. You name it, we can do it. Smaller events like book launches, networking events. We've done so many amazing things for our clients, and we're super excited to continue doing that work and help out folks when they need virtual event production. So I think I have my slides. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about us before we jump in. Thank you so much for bringing those up, Pedro. Again, we are GSD Solutions. You can check us out at gsdsolutionsinc.com. We are a business development agency that specializes in digital adoption. And what that means is that we want to work with individuals, small, medium, and even large companies to build more inclusive and innovative, but become more inclusive and innovative by using digital solutions. So that means getting your website up, getting your virtual events going, getting your different software and digital tools that you need to become the best business possible as we expand our world into this global ecosystem and into this metaverse, right? Like Web 3.0 is right around the corner. And so we want to make sure that companies know how to use these tools to the best of their advantage. And sometimes that's hard. Whether you're a small business or medium business, technology is moving at the speed of light. And so we want to come in and assist you with getting that digital adoption so that way you could continue to grow your business. And we have an amazing team. Again, myself, Georgie, I'm the founder. Then we have Pedro, Kat, or events coordinator, Liberty, Trevon, Colleen, Alex, Erica, Emily, and a few other team members that we work with on a project basis to just make sure that your event, your strategy, everything is all locked in and all good. Some of our certifications in this field include we are a Remo Silver Agency partner, or team is Hopin certified. Plus, we are a woman-owned and Black-owned business with a lot of diversity on our team, not because diversity is fun or cool, but just that is how we believe in work. And it's funny, Pedro and I have actually been working together for a really long time now. And our previous company was also focused on encouraging technology uses specifically in diverse groups and areas. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about, what we can do for you, but just let you know, we are industry experts. Between our team, we have over 30 years of experience with live and virtual events. We discover digital tools every single day, and we're always training our internal team. So that way you don't have to worry about training everyone on your staff. You bring us in, we execute it for you. And just peace of mind. every event out there is going to have fires, whether it's in person, virtual, or live. And you want to make sure that the event team, the speakers, the attendees have a smooth, flawless experience. And so that's where we come in to make sure that whatever fire is happening, we're putting out those fires and giving a high quality experience. But you are here to learn what those 5 questions to ask are, right? I know a lot of offices, a lot of businesses are currently asking, is it time to move your event virtual? And what does that mean? What does that look like? So here are 5 questions that you should start asking yourself. And we're going to break them down into bite-sized pieces so that way we can understand better what does that mean for your company. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first one, and then, Pedro and I will go back and forth, and Pedro, you could go ahead and do the second one. So the first question you want to ask is, what will our attendees lose if this event was completely virtual? And I know this is probably a question that you're already asking, because once we started seeing vaccines, mask mandates, temperature checks, we thought we had a process down. And as we saw from the spikes that we encountered over the holiday season, over 1 million positive cases in just a day, we don't have the formula all the way down packed, right? And with flu season, cold season, this is the season that these kind of things will spread, right? Flu and sicknesses. So what will our attendees lose if our event was completely virtual is the first question you want to ask your team, so you guys can start thinking about, what pieces of the event needed to be fully in person for them to be embraced, right? Do we have catering? Do we have face-to-face opportunities? Do we have swag bags, right? So figuring out what they would lose allows you to also figure out how can you look at that in a different way. Instead of coming to an event physically, maybe mailing the swag bags. What does that look like in a cost wise? Maybe making a digital version of the swag bag, right? So the key here is to getting a clear understanding of your event goals, what pieces were essential to that event, and what people are now having to take away if you turn this event into a virtual event. And I'll pass the next question to Pedro.
So a very essential question is, what will our attendees gain from having a virtual event, right? From going completely virtual. And I think one of the biggest things that having a virtual event does is that it allows you that flexibility to reach every person you possibly can, anywhere and everywhere they are at. And in addition to that, it really allows the attendee a greater ability to focus on who it is that they want to meet and talk to. When you attend these big conferences, almost no one really has their name badge on their chest. You can't really identify who or where they're from. Whereas virtually, there are platforms and tools that we are specializing in that allow you to look at each other's profiles, your background, and really, like, if you have an intention to meet someone in the aviation field, you know that that person will be there, and you can track them down and private message them, and keep a record of your conversation with these people if you want to. So I think that's a great solution to have in mind, for your attendees, and that's something that you would promote an online virtual event as having a benefit for your attendees.
Yeah, everything Pedro said, and I'll now take the third one. A key question you want to ask yourself. We're still in the thick of the season where there's a lot of holidays, there's a lot of breaks, there's a lot of pauses that we have to take, right? We just passed Christmas, Thanksgiving. Now we're coming up on what's it called? Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day. And as we see special months like Black History Month and Women's History Month coming up, is your event taking place around a gathering-centric holiday? And the reason why you want to ask yourself, Easter's coming up in April as well, or spring break, is because what we saw over the holiday season that just passed with Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year is that folks weren't willing to risk, right, their safety going to a networking centric event, but they were willing to quote unquote risk it for a family gathering, right? To be with their loved ones to see their family that they haven't seen in over 2 years, people were willing to take that chance and going to those gatherings versus, a business conference, a networking event, right? Like we, the lines for COVID over the holiday season, Pedro and I both know that these lines were super long, right? I was in lines for 3 hours on multiple days, and then having to get a ticket and having to fill out papers and trying to rush. It was ridiculous to try to just simply get a test, right? And so people aren't willing to risk that high level of testing, and the pros of working from home. Willing to risk it when it comes to business or networking centric events. So ask yourself, can we move our event around a little bit? Can we make our event more, are we competing with the holiday? Are we competing with family instead of putting that event closer to a gathering centric holiday? But the thing is, when you do a virtual event, when it is around a gathering centric holiday, you do have that more flexibility to continue your event. That way, no matter if the person is stationary at home or they've traveled to another city, state, or country, they can still attend and participate in that event. And you've allowed more accessibility and a global reach. And again, as Pedro said, we have a wide variety of tools and platforms that we've used to allow our client events to be very successful in the virtual ecosystem. And now I'm going to pass the next question to Pedro. Like, what are some of the things that, well, you could go ahead and do the next question. And I'm going to
So,
go on mute.
so what are some things that it will take to go virtual? Well, beyond those first initial questions that we just finished answering for you, well, you would need either a very strong person who's well versed on the platform that you will be using in your team, or you will hire a company like us to produce the entire event for you and manage all those day of and previous day of headaches for you, any technical glitches that may be happening. You want it to seem to the viewer as if nothing's actually really happening, that is making sure that there's no problems in the back end, and if there is, to minimize the impact that it will have on your attendees' experience, right? It will take a lot of logistical planning, and most event production companies that focus on virtual events will have someone who specializes in that. We do, and that's what we pride ourselves in doing. From beginning to end, GSD Solutions guides you and does the work for you to make sure that you have the best possible event or conference or workshop that you're planning to have for your attendees. So, Georgie, who is our
Awesome.
audience?
Yeah, so this final question that you again want to ask, right? And I'm pretty sure some of your teams are already asking these questions, is who is your audience? COVID spikes as well as closures of businesses definitely do impact certain audiences more than it impacts others. For example, if your audience is going to be impacted by school closures, right? We're thinking of parents or guardians. Is your audience going to be deferred based on COVID spikes? Folks that are already at high risk, people that have pre-existing conditions, people that may be a little bit elder, right? You have to take into consideration, who are you expecting to sit in this crowd? Are they going to be impacted in some other way than just directly not being able to attend? And so offering that additional flexibility through a virtual event allows you to give that convenience back, right? We just saw my daughter come into the background for folks that are working from home, and maybe if schools are closed and the children are home, then they can still participate and partake in your event, get that same value, engage, network, meet folks. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, my audience may not understand these different tools and platforms. Well, that's another thing that we offer. We offer multiple trainings, guides, how-tos. We call them open house or demo days for your audience and that's going to be attending your event to come on and to really see what it looks like and what the experience will be like. And depending on what your needs are, again, we're experts in Zoom. Hop in, Remo, and I'm about to show you guys some more platforms that we are experts in. But asking yourself, who is your audience, is going to be a key essential question to knowing that they may be affected by more than just the regular closures, and how you can still maintain a high quality event with those factors.
And I
And
think
so, yeah, go ahead, Pedro.
before we move on, I think that it's important to note that a lot of us didn't think that there were a lot of other of us who would be able to partake in the virtual world. Um, and really what it takes is a little bit of patience and a little bit of guidance, and the
Mm-hmm.
right people will give your audience that type of guidance so that they can participate in your event and in future events as well. So we never thought that we were going to be in this world, in this virtual world, but yet we adapted, and we can do that for your team and your audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just to recap, right? You're in your offices, everyone's kind of getting frantic. We're seeing the headlines, we're seeing the case spikes. So what we wanted to do was just go over 5 key questions that every business, every individual, every entrepreneur, every company should be asking themselves in order to know what to do next as Q1 comes up. We have events on the plate. The first question is, what will our attendees lose if we go completely virtual? Once you get the answer to this question, you have the opportunity to flip that and think of creative ways to not have them lose those things, but to now redo those things in the virtual world. The second question, what will our attendees gain if we were completely virtual? That accessibility, that flexibility, they could participate from anywhere. Is or event near a gathering centric holiday? Try not to compete with a big holiday right now. There aren't too many coming up, but try not to compete with the big holiday. A lot of people aren't willing to risk it. And if you are competing with the big holiday, having a virtual event allows people to put the event inside of their calendar with the flexibility that they may be traveling during those holiday centric times. What would it take to go virtual? What tools, capabilities, budget do you have on hand, as well as are you working with a dedicated virtual event production team such as GSD Solutions, and there are various other companies as well? And then who is your audience? Is your audience going to be impacted based on the ebbs and flows of the side effects of COVID, such as school closures, accessibility to different things? Think of them, and that is how you're going to determine, should we go virtual, right? Is it time to move your events virtual? Do you have anything else to add, Paige, before we move to the next slide?
I think to finalize what we were saying, I think it's very important to take a step back as people who are planning events, uh, to really go down a checklist and determine the goal that you're trying to reach, for that specific event, and seeing whether or not you as a professional in your field are the best equipped to, you know, to present the material, to focus on the participants, to moderate the entire event. Um, and if the answer to any of those is maybe not, then it's important that you to reach out to others to get the support that you need and help and find someone who can moderate, MC, or handle all the technical aspects in the background so that you can do what you do best for that event, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the staff that he just mentioned, host, tech support, and even catering, right? Like, who would have, a couple years ago, we didn't think of what it would look like to have everybody at one virtual event in different cities, states, and countries sharing a meal together, right? We have sourced a lot of these platforms. And if you head over to our website, or guide Events Reimagined, we've listed over 100 different tools. It's a free download that anybody could go ahead and grab. That includes all of the different, over 100 of the different tools we've come across of people that are hosts, entertainment, catering services, software, swag bag delivery, just so many different things, as well as like that planning checklist and guideline that Pedro mentioned. We also have that available as a download, a PDF download on our website, gsdsolutionsinc.com. And so now I'd love to tell you guys about a little bit more about like what we can do for you. So at GSD Solutions, we have different packages to cater to different type of clients. So we understand that there are going to be, you know, larger organizations that need all the bells and whistles, like photo booth, tech support, training, management, et cetera, et cetera. But we also understand that sometimes you just need tech support. So we have packages for just tech support, starting at with, you know, 5 hours of up to 5 hours live technical support, pre-event management, managing the platform, so hooking up the platform in the back end so that way you could get your proper analytics, you could get your proper tools associated with that. We also have a done for you solution. So this is a little bit more than tech support. So this is, you know, you want something turnkey. You want to get in there, get it cranking. You know, your event may be 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. You know, our sweet spot is at least 4 weeks, but we've turned events around that, you know, had emergencies, you know, super fast. But if you just need something turnkey, you have your details, you just want to come in, have the event, and then kind of go, right? We do offer those solutions, and this is where we would provide the platform for you. So instead of subscribing to the different platforms out there, we have agency subscriptions to certain platforms that we're able to license it to you, such as Hopin, Remo, and Zoom. So that would be included. So access to the platform, tech support. You could have up to 500 attendees, an event up to 8 hours. We designed the entire thing for you, platform management, as well as pre-event coordination. And this is like a flat rate, fees are included. If you're interested in the just tech support or the done for you solution, again, head to our website, gsdsolutionsinc.com, hit the get quote button and fill out that form, and we could get working with you on one of these options. Pedro, do you want to tell them a little bit of about or build a package? So this is for a more larger corporation or a larger event. It doesn't have to be a larger corporation, but this is for a larger event. So I'll pass it to Pedro.
Yeah, so the build a package is really, you know, someone who or a business that is very specific, knows what they want, and wants us to handle those specific things alone, right? And they're more likely going to be having the 1,000, the 2,000 people event. I mean, this past summer we held an event that had over 4,000 people for a week. So that was definitely a build a package event. And there are definitely more add-on features that can be added onto this package. There are just so many other features that we can't add them all at the same time. So, but that includes our deluxe graphic designer who builds maps and visuals for your conference setup on our platforms, the coordinators that reads the emails, answers all the emails from your clients and your participants, speaker management and training. You know, getting your speakers ready to perform on the stage virtually is different than getting them ready to perform on the stage in person. So we can do that. We provide them with that training as well, making sure that you have the right platform access and not having to spend so much money on getting the platform user agreement yourself. But through us, we have obviously discounts and partnerships with these big platforms. So we can help set you up for that as well. Again, there's so many other features that can be added on to this build a package specific, but it makes sense to reach out to us if this seems like something that you are leaning towards.
Yeah, and so, you know, the best way to do that, head to the website again, gsdsolutionsinc.com, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it up on the screen so that way you can see it. But that is the best way. Head up, you know, message us on that form. We take a couple details, we get you a quote. And we work with you. We work with our clients to figure out what is best for them. And oftentimes that's the biggest barrier that I would say people have when it comes to, you know, you don't know what you don't know, and you may think, oh yeah, we got this, we know what we're doing, and you are right in that aspect. But our job is to literally every day be going out there looking for new platforms, looking for tools to support your event, getting training on those platforms so that way we can offer it to the different clients that we have, right? And so, you know, we have this expertise already, we have these tools already put together, and so allow us to help you make your virtual experience at the best quality possible for your attendees and your participants. And just some of the tools that we have gathered over the years of our experience include, and I'm just going to hide this for a second, you know, some of the event platforms, Remo, Hopin, Zoom, AirMeet, Excel Events, you know, Restream, StreamYard, Hey Summit, Eventbrite, YouTube. We do live streaming, LinkedIn Live. We're here on LinkedIn Live as we speak, as well as multi-streaming to Facebook and YouTube. Different video editing tools. We have video editors. We have hosts. We have script writer. We have almost everything that you need, either internally on our team or in our contractor list of partners that we work with on a day-to-day basis. We know various branding and design tools. So, come to us, we'll figure out what is the best solution for you and then move forward with working together. Some of our clients have included like the U.S. Black Chambers, Jewish Society, Cal Lutheran, and some of our amazing other clients. We have a long list of clients that we work with all over the United States as well as international and all over the globe. So this just proves that, we've been doing this. We have helped small as well as large companies, and we're here to help you. We're going to continue this series and come on to live and talk to folks about the resources that are available, because again, we've gathered so much of this information, much of this material and tools already for you all, and we want you to be able to take advantage of that. So Pedro, do you have anything else to add before we get them or contact info and end this broadcast for today?
Yeah, if you have any inkling of holding a virtual event or a hybrid event for that matter, contact GSD Solutions. We're here to help. We're here to provide you with the expertise that we as a collective team have over 30 years of experience in. And yeah, we're here to help. Call us.
Yes, go to our website, GSD Solutions Inc. Again, you can book a consultation. We could jump on the phone. Additionally, we're going to be having demos, right? We're going to have demo days where you could come into the different platforms and some of the tools that we use, and we'll walk you through step by step of the platform so you can see, okay, is this platform best for me? Because that's another question a lot of folks ask and are confused about. There's so many platforms, and I kid you guys not. Like, we know we're in and out of them every day, and some are great, very easy to use, and some are complex. Some are very complex. And we also had our series Events Reimagined. So I mentioned the Events Reimagined guide where we listed a lot of these platforms, but we also had our series that called Events Reimagined, where we got some of the CEOs, founders, directors of these companies to talk to us about their platforms. How does it work? How to best use it as a tool? How to get in contact with them? And you could check that out on our YouTube channel as well. So, let's work together. We're ready. We're here, and check us out as we continue to do these live streams and engage with you all about virtual and hybrid events. That's all for me. Thank you everyone that tuned in. Thank you everyone that's watching the replay. For folks, again, GSDSolutionsinc.com is the place to go. And yeah, follow us on all the socials. Same, at GSD Solutions Inc. on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. All right. Thanks, everybody.